Yo, real quick before I start this episode, I just wanted to say RIP to Earl Simmons, aka DMX. For those that don't know, he passed away last week. He was in a coma for about a week from a heart attack. He was on life support and he just took a turn for the worse. DMX was definitely one of my favorite rappers. He's actually in my top 5 of favorite rappers / MCs of all time. It was just about his how authentic it was, but at the same time how vulnerable he was at the same time. Like, he was this tough, rugged dude, but at the same time, he wasn't afraid to express himself. He wasn't afraid to talk about the stuff that he went through, whether it was his drug addiction or the stuff that he went through with his mom and just all the other stuff that he's been through. And despite all of that, he's one of the best for everybody. He was definitely a God-fearing man, and he would definitely be missed. This is probably one of the first times, honestly, that I felt some type of way with our rapper passing away. Granted, I do feel bad when anybody does pass away too soon, but being that DMX was one of my favorites of all time, it hit me differently. Heck, Pac's my favorite artist, but I was 6 when he passed away, so I didn't have those same emotions. Plus, I wasn't really listening to hip-hop at that time. But I say that to say DMX is definitely going to be missed, a true icon in the hip-hop game. And I just wanted to take this time before I actually started my episode to just pay my respects. Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy AJ, and this is Hip Hop Vibes. I got a special guest in the studio today, my boy Spence from the band C'est Lief.
Hey, what's good, y'all?
Now, we're supposed to have 2 people, but because, COVID restrictions, only got 1 in the studio right now, but we're going to try to, switch back and forth between the band members and, see how it goes. COVID, man. But how you been, bro?
I've been good, man. I've been blessed. Not too many complaints at all. Just working on this music.
True. So just real quick, introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, your role in the band, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So my name is Raymond Spence. I prefer to go by my last name. Ray is just out of the question. But I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, if you can't tell from the accent. And I play drums in the band C'est Lief. And I also pretty much handle the management for right now and all the promotion and everything like that. I just want to say again, thank you so much for having us on your show, bro. This is dope. I appreciate the opportunity to just kind of get our message out there, spread the word and spread the love, bro, because that's what we about.
Oh, no problem, bro. I'm glad y'all able to come up here. So real quick, explain C'est Lief, what does it mean? How did y'all form, meet up, all that good stuff?
Yes. So C'est Lief as a band, we actually started with me and Greg.
Okay.
We met up at the Roots Picnic in 2017, and Greg and I went to college together. And
Norfolk State, right?
Yeah, Norfolk State, okay. And HBCU love.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
But Greg and I, we had linked up at Roots Picnic just kind of by chance, and I was like, "Bro, I'm about to move to Maryland a little bit, and looking to play some drums." And he was like, "Bro, we can start a band as soon as you get up here." So it's I think it was just playful banter between the two of us at the Roots Picnic. But then once I got up here, I was like, "Bro, I'm here," and he was like, "Oh, okay, well, okay."
Didn't think that was actually
I didn't think you were going to follow through it. So he put me on to Data. Data came through, and I had a few charts that I had been writing down in Virginia. And we started running through the charts, and we were like, "Yo, this is actually pretty dope." And Data was just like, "Yo, I got this singer. And she's young, she's figuring things out. Vocally, I think we would be able to use her. So we brought Kamara in, and just raw talent, and we were all looking at each other like, we can make something here. So that's how we all connected at first. The name C'est Lief, it actually is a mixture of Creole and Afrikaans.
Okay.
Or French. It's French, my bad. So the French word for that is c'est, and the Afrikaans word for love is lief. So fusing together, that's love.
Okay.
That's what we've been about since we started in 2017. We released our first project in 2019, and this is us coming back in 2021, 2 years later, with our second project, Curse Has Been Lifted.
Okay, so talk about Curse Has Been Lifted real quick. The process and the working on the album. Actually, talk about the first project real quick.
Oh, absolutely.
So what was the name of the first project?
The first project is almost self-titled. It's That's Love.
Okay.
It's the name of the band in English. But we started recording that project in 2018. And the fun thing about that is the way that we started that project was by doing these things called lock-ins. So we would, I think it was March of 2018. We literally, no, it was 2018. We had this thing called a lock-in. So we all went to Greg's house, and you couldn't leave. You couldn't be on your phone. You couldn't do you couldn't do anything else besides focus on the music. We slept there, we ate there, we vibed there, like, and that was the environment that we kind of pumped out all of the songs from our first project. So it was, the first project was birthed from that lock-in that we did, and we just kind of continued to expand on it. We would rehearse on every Sunday, kind of link up, get our stuff together, and like the goal for us was always to have our own, maybe at least an hour's worth of our own music so we could gig. Because when we were initially gigging, we were just kind of doing like covers and stuff like that, like putting our own flavor on it. So the covers that we would do is like Them Changes by Thundercat, or a few Robert Glasper tunes like Ah Yeah, and stuff like that. So we kind of wanted to already break into the scene with music that people were familiar with, but kind of putting our own spin on it.
Right.
But the goal always was for us to have our own hours length of a show. So with us having that project, that was like a step closer for us. So the way that plans into this project is the culmination of that goal, and being able to say, yo, we want an hour's worth of music that we can play. Well, we have an hour length album.
Nice. And I remember I came to a couple of your old shows too.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you. Big shout out to Bus Boys and Poets. That's where we had our like the what is it? The host there, Dwayne Crochet. Kingpin. That dude, like, he plugged us into the DC area, and like just many thanks to that dude for like just kind of helping us grow and putting us out there like that. Because just from gigging with him, it like opened up more opportunities for us to kind of get out and experience things for ourselves, and for people to actually book us, and just forever thankful and forever grateful to him for that.
Fast. That's dope. So so talk about Curse Has Been Lifted.
So anytime that I discuss the album, the very first thing I usually ask is, whoever asks about the album, like, you personally, how would you define a curse?
Kind of like a stigma that's been like placed on you for like however long that you try to get rid of. You think you can't get rid of. Mm-hmm.
So initially, whenever I would think about a curse, it would kind of get me choked up, because it's hard to put a label on it. You always know what a curse is, but you don't never really. It's hard to put your finger on specifically what a curse is.
Yeah.
And to take this a step further, how would you specifically go about lifting a curse?
Self-love.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I enjoy the self-love aspect of it too. Everybody has a different definition of what a curse is, and everybody has their own solution to it. What C'est Lief decided to do was, with this project, we wanted to create something that would be a healing process for the world, because, and I don't think it's any secret to anybody, like, look at the interview right now. I'm supposed to be in here with Data. We can't be in here right now because of COVID. So we really wanted to at least make a statement out to the world, and kind of put something concise together to be able to say, curses exist, and there is a way that you lift it. There's a way that you can remove that curse. And so when we set out creating this project, it wasn't with that in mind. It was literally us kind of creating music as we went along. And our band leader, Greg, or Cure, he kind of put the label on the project. And the development of it is primarily his creative direction, along with Kamara J, our vocalist. And I am very excited. I'm very honored and privileged to have been a part of it, and just kind of be in the room within the creative process, and kind of putting my little tidbits here and there. And the culmination of it, I'm very excited, bro. Like, how you have that moment where you can actually pull up your own project and listen to your own project from start to finish.
Yeah.
I've done that like at least 6 times, and I enjoy it every time.
And that's what's up. Yeah,
bro. It's amazing.
That's me when I first started this radio show, man. Like just sitting back and just listen to like.
Bro, your voice is amazing. I enjoy this every time I get to listen.
And I appreciate that, man. I get that a lot, actually.
Yeah, bro.
That's one of the reasons why I decided to start the radio show.
Yeah, bro. Keep this going. If for anyone, keep it for me.
And then because of this, I started my podcast. I just started my podcast.
Excellent. Bro, if you ever, if you ever consider quitting, just remember that you be letting me down. Me personally, like, I got to keep going. Spence is relying on me.
Spence needs the man. He needs it.
Needs this. Yeah, bro.
Oh, man. So what were your influences to making this project or making this second album?
Oof. Let me think about this.
Like, I know you're like a huge Thundercat fan.
Oh, absolutely. From start to finish. Like that, he's always going to be a pivotal part of the influence for our band. But I think the things that really influenced us were growth, the environment that we were coming into. If I'm not sure a lot of the people out there know, but we had a little bit of a change in the not say leadership, but the membership of the group. And initially we had 5 members.
I was about to ask you that too, because I remember like you had a saxophonist too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We so within that transition and into making this a 4-person band, there was a lot of restructuring and a lot of kind of reconnecting with one another. And a thing that potentially threw a wrench in that, or let me not even say it threw a wrench in that, but just made it more interesting to see how it was going to develop was the birth of my son, Reyes. Okay. So it was literally us kind of creating ideas and then having me to just kind of pull away for a while. So there were a lot of moving parts to the inspiration that came to the album, and we created every moment that we could, like any moment that we could like link up. Like a few times we would have sessions in Baltimore because that's where I live.
Right.
We would have sessions at Greg's house. We would even during COVID, we would have like virtual sessions, brainstorming. Okay. And it would get down to a point where Greg is home in terms of the band, right? And periodically it might just be Greg and Kamara for a few weeks. It might just be Greg and Data for a few weeks. It might just be me and Greg for a few weeks. But every time we would come back home, like Greg is home in that sense of the band. And that's why I enjoy his leadership, because he gets to kind of see where everybody is mentally.
He's kind of like the rock.
He is the foundation, like by far, in my personal opinion. And when it comes to like piecing things together, masterful at it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's available now on all streaming platforms. Yes. Just got released today.
Yes, it did.
It's on iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, all that good stuff.
All of it. All of it. One of the things I'm hoping that we might be able to do, if we get enough people to order it, we might get some vinyls. So if you, for my vinyl heads out there, if you really enjoy that aspect of it, just go ahead and pre-order. Like, not even pre-order it. Go ahead and buy it now because it's
out now.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you bless us enough, we might kick something out to you. Just follow us on Instagram. That's the easiest way to be able to kind of see if we're going to be releasing anything extra.
Nice. And I just started collecting vinyls too, man. Bro, my All Eyes on Me vinyl just came in the other day.
Bro, like it's an art form especially in this day and age, because everything's digital now.
Yeah.
Everything's got a digital re-release and blah, blah, blah. I truly have an affinity for those artists that can still like release their own work via vinyl, because it's
vinyl, CD, all that good stuff.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I miss CDs, man.
The only thing for me with CDs is like once it's scratched, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's done.
But the same thing could be said for a vinyl too, though.
True. Right. Well, for me, I take better care of vinyls than I do of CDs.
Makes sense. Yeah.
CDs, I can just throw them in my cars. But vinyl is just like, this is precious.
Yeah, you got to take care. Yeah.
I went through too much to get this. You know what I mean? And I enjoy the fact that even now with vinyls, they have a certain amount of esteem and allure to them. Like legitimately, right now, if you pulled up your phone and tried to find Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt on vinyl, you're going to pay a grip for that.
You really are.
You're going to pay a grip for it. So I enjoy that aspect of vinyls. And almost kind of like what Esperanza Spalding did with her album, I think a few years ago, it was like a bunch of sevens, where it's like she only released like I think 777 copies, and if you caught it, you caught it. I love that aspect of it. So if we might do something like that where Curse Has Been Lifted.
I think Largely did the same thing with his last 2 albums.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I make sure I got those CDs.
Oh yeah. I need that.
Largely's in my top 10, so I'll make sure I got them joints.
Underrated.
Oh,
guy,
big
man.
facts.
Underrated.
Big
guy.
facts.
I'm sad to see him go, but I'm also happy that he did what he wanted.
Right. He just released a new mixtape like 2 months ago.
I thought he retired. See, this is the thing.
But here's the thing. It's not under his name. It's under a different name. It's like his alter ego.
Bobby?
No, it's another alter ego.
Oh.
Dr. Destruction.
That's another one.
Dr. Destruction, yeah.
Well, I have to look into that.
See, you got to,
This
bro.
is why Hip Hop Vibes exists, so I could get this type of knowledge.
You got to, bro. Like, he killed that joint, bro. The whole concept of the whole thing is, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but
See?
It's amazing.
I look forward to it.
I'm trying not to cuss, but like, it's freaking amazing, bro.
You know what I mean by freaking, too.
Exactly. I showed my boy Nick like a couple months ago when it first came out. He was like, wow, bro. Like, I see why you like Logic. And like, it still has that whole, old school hip hop vibe to it.
Excellent.
So like, yeah.
Perfect.
Definitely got to check that joint out. And Greg, he sent me one of the songs, before the joint came out today.
Excellent.
He sent me Nigga, You Ain't Special.
Ooh. Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, he sent me that joint. Shout out to Greg. Mm-hmm. And he plays the piano or the keys, right?
Yes, he plays
keys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, real quick, let's talk about everybody's role in the band.
Okay. So Greg is the music director. Mm-hmm. Well, between him and Data, they kind of share the musical direction aspects of it, because the thing with Data, he plays the bass, but he also plays keys for our cousin band, Control Chaos. Well, we're their cousin, like we're like their little cousin in my eyes at least. But he plays keys for Control Chaos and bass for us. Greg plays keys for us, and between the two of them, there's a lot of composition. There's a lot of years of, music theory experience.
Okay.
Now, I tinker around with writing charts, and I have my own compositions that I try to insert wherever I can, and they might take bits and pieces of it, but I play drums in the band. Kamara is vocalist and a poet at her core. It would be times where literally on the spot, we could be playing like just a groove, and Kamara will come out of nowhere with lyrics and a harmony. I mean, not a harmony, a melody out of nowhere. And before you know it, we've got a full song.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about You Ain't Special real quick. Any like inspiration that led to that song, or just,
That's Kamara's song. Like that is her song.
I kind of figured.
Oh, absolutely. Like, you can tell from the way that she's delivering the message.
Yeah.
That's a very personal song.
I feel like it was her. I feel like it was like her joint. Mm-hmm. But I just want to get a second, opinion.
We all have our standout songs on the album.
Okay.
And this one specifically is Kamara's. Like the inspiration.
If you can't tell by the title.
Yeah, more or less. I'll be honest with you. In terms of inspiration, I wouldn't want to steal her thunder because this is primarily her songs. I can tell you the drum inspiration for it would. I take a lot of my cues, or I try to take a lot of my cues from Dilla. Jay Dilla.
Yeah.
Dilla-esque drummers. So that would be like Spankies or Chris Dave, or like drummers like that. I try to emulate that as much as possible. What ended up happening on this project, we ended up doing computerized drums for the track itself, but we have a live version of it too. That if people like it enough, we might just throw that out there too. Exactly. So,
and hopefully I can perform all this stuff live.
Oh, absolutely.
Once this whole COVID stuff dies.
Well, the last time that we performed that song was at Bus Boys and Poets, and my best friend Sydney, she like peeped it from deep and was just like, "Oh my gosh, that song is amazing! I can't wait till y'all release it." It's like great. So we're heading in the right direction,
right?
In terms of like the songs or the content that we're putting out.
What would you say is your favorite song from this album?
Don't do this to me.
Or if you had to pick a top three, a top three.
I was thinking about this on the way in, And if I were to do my favorites, number 3 would be Wa'anko. That's my song. That's the one that I mainly, well, let me not say mine, but the inspiration for it came from the drum beat, the drum groove Wawanko. And
Okay.
So that's why it's spelled like that. It's GUA, and then Ankh is a Kemetic symbol.
Yeah.
And then O. So it's superimposing African stuff into the song itself. So that's my favorite. Well, my third. Second favorite would be Gong. Man. Amazing tune. That's Data. Data is really into healing and understanding the makeup of our body. So when it comes down to like the chords and stuff that he plays, is very intentional. It's supposed to bring out certain feelings in you. So it's meant to not necessarily hypnotize you, but relax you when you hear that song. And it does a great job, for me at least. And then number 1 favorite song on the album is Match Me Like. It's the very last track. And I think I'll if I'm a betting man, I'd put easily $50 on saying that the last track is everybody's favorite song.
From the band?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would put good money on that.
Okay. All right. Since they sent me this song, I'm going to play Nigga You Ain't Special real quick.
There you go.
You can go on the break. And then after the break, we'll bring in Dana.
Appreciate
and
it.
have him talk. All right, y'all. Here you go. Nigga, you ain't special.
Once again, here you come with excuses, and once again, here I let you abuse it. Past the eyes and the smile, delusion. I chose to adore and ignore it, confusion. Stuck on how we got this far. You were never meant to break this wall. Left to deal with my dealings and feelings. I need some time for some sensual healing. Had a fun time spent, well done. From my past, can't compare you to none, but don't think you ain't irreplaceable. It's irreversible. I'm here to let you know. I was walking down New York Avenue. My head turned when I saw this boy I knew. He walked over looking so damn smooth. I smiled all while keeping up my cool. He asked me where I've been, said he ain't seen me since when. Remember when we were friends, eh? Told him my time was free. If he wanna catch up with me, we exchanged numbers and then it began. What could this be? 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 You ain't special. I finally came around and figured out you ain't special. It's funny how all of this came about. You ain't special. You ain't special. Got to talking and spitting feelings. Can't even front, nigga had me willing. Unpredictable love I never saw coming. Too strong for me that I had kept on running. The way he used his tongue to speak his word. Said certain things the way that I ain't never heard. Knew it was a problem when he started speaking slick, but I couldn't bring my stubborn self to admit maybe this was wrong, but I mean, how could it be? Ain't it obvious that he wasn't straight to me? Going all these years and knowing we ain't even speak. Now we sitting here vibing and he having me weak. What could this be? 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 You ain't special. I finally
Yo, welcome back, y'all. It's your boy AJ, and this is Hip Hop Vibes. Back with another member of C'est Lief, my boy Data. Welcome, bro.
Welcome. Good to be here.
Yeah, my bad. You know, COVID restrictions kind of, got us like messed up a little bit. But
you already know, bro. This is what it is. Just get it how you can.
But yo, just real quick, introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, your role in the band, influences, all that good stuff.
Cool. Try to keep it as concise.
Take your time, man. You got plenty of time.
My name is Data. That's my producer alias. I pretty much am the bass player in the group, and I produce along with Cure, our leader. And we pretty much just cook crack for y'all. That's pretty much it. We don't really do anything else, honestly. I've been playing bass for a few years now, but I studied trombone in college.
What school did you go to?
Frostburg.
Frostburg? Okay.
Yeah. And that's what's funny because Cure is also a trombonist by heart, but he's our pianist.
Sure.
So it's a lot of multi-musical people, kind of hovering in the group.
Yeah. You play keys as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Producers, we play everything. Whatever you put in front of us, we're going to figure it out.
Right. As an engineer, I understand.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just that type of energy. It's just like, I can't call these people. I'm just figure it out. And then you end up doing it. And then the more times you end up saying that, you start to actually get good. And then people call you for a gig and you're like, oh, I can actually play a little bit, I guess. It takes time though. But I'm from Maryland, but we kind of say we're based out of the DMV. So
okay.
DMV vibes, is definitely the inspiration of our music. Obviously, the group being primarily jazz musicians, we pull from a whole bunch of different, just like you could say, like world music and things like that. I don't know who my personal influences that I could honestly say I feel like are bleeding through on this project, but my personal influences that like everyday listens. I love Oscar Peterson. I love Bill Evans. I love some of the older cats, older composers like Neil Hefti. I love Hubert Laws, awesome flautist.
Okay.
Really cool, you talk about fusion, Bobby Humphrey,
Oh, yeah.
Donald Byrd, all of those cats. I really love, like the 70s and like the 80s and fusion, everybody say Weather Report, they're cool. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not trying to talk about Weather Report, but there's so many, I guess you could say, influences that I pull from on a daily basis. I really don't know who I can say is bleeding through on this project, but I'd say I'm a jazzer at heart, though.
Okay.
And like straight ahead jazz, not like instrumental pop. Like
no, I understand.
Like real jazz.
Yeah, the authentic jazz. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Spencer's telling me that you introduced Jay to the band.
Yeah.
So how did that go?
Well, pretty much, I used to work for a little company, and God works in mysterious ways. Like she literally came through the door, and I had been gigging, so it was a music-based company. So sold like instruments and sheet music, and we had a center where we taught lessons as well. So,
kind of like a music and art center.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Long story short, I'm kind of like a plug for outside musicians, but also a plug for the company. You know what I'm saying? Because I gig all the time, so like I'm a real in the field person. So I pull people from, oh, hey, well, I work here by day, so if you need this type of stuff, whoop, whoop, whoop,
Okay.
and type of things. Or, if there's teachers looking to teach, what I'm saying? It's like, hey, my man is, he play, he studied up at whoop, whoop, whoop. Do we got any openings? And, upper management be like, oh, yeah, cool. So I'm just kind of, trying to feed the village type energy.
Yeah.
And
The middleman, so to speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Facts. And off of that type of energy, I guess somehow she found out that I would work there. And she literally came and said, yeah, somebody told me to ask for Mark. And I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, what's up? And then we started chopping it up. She said she was a vocalist. And then literally, here we are. Like, it was the most, like, God ordained, like, alley-oop setup. And I mean, Jay is stupid. I mean, I don't know if you've heard like any of the
Yeah, I heard some of the stuff. Yeah.
As soon as, like,
I seen y'all live too.
bruh, as soon as we got her in the studio, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, here's platinums. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, let's cultivate this, let's foster this, let's keep on building this, because it was a no-brainer. But I can't, I can't say that was like, oh yeah, I found her. Like, no, that was God. You know what I'm saying? It was just really on some, God put me here, God put Jay there.
Right place, right time.
Right place, right time. You know what I'm saying? You work in your ministry. You know what I'm saying? You try to alley-oop as much opportunities to, the people that you want to see come up with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you see what happens. Sometimes stuff falls apart, but sometimes you just get the best thing ever,
Fact.
But you don't know unless you open and you willing to work through some of that stuff. Because sometimes I really feel like, especially at least in the DMV, people be kind of like scared to put each other on.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
real.
sense of like community. And like, I'm completely against that. Like, if I see something and I know somebody and you literally we were talking about, hey, do my brakes or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, oh, I got this dude. He work up out of this mechanic shop. Yeah. And he's a legit, not some, oh, my uncle does brakes.
Yeah.
No, like, I'm gonna get you somebody real. And that's the thing. We don't pass authentic and real opportunities to each other. It's a lot of that kind of like discount, kind of like bartering, kind of.
Yeah. And that's one thing I like about like Atlanta, because like they all work together as a whole.
Right.
They all look out for each other.
I was just talking to my brother about that. He's been talking about moving down south to Texas.
But Houston.
Yeah, I think maybe Houston. I gotta chat it up with him real quick, just to figure out exactly what part. But like, that's the same thing he said. He was just like, down south, it's open, it's more spacious. I mean, and obviously we've known this for some time. If you can keep your income from up north but move down south,
hey, you good.
You're gonna be good. Like,
you're gonna be straight for real.
Yeah, you're gonna be eating.
I keep telling people straight up, like, yo, I want to move back to North Carolina so bad, but keep the income I have here.
Right.
Have my own spot.
But see, I mean, like, off some radio stuff, that's, these types of opportunities are becoming more and more realistic.
Facts.
My only fear with a lot of that kind of like telework line, like kind of operation is you can end up being part of a community that you're not really actually around. And for me, I'm a brick and mortar kind of guy. So like, I like, being able to walk into a store,
Same. You're a hands-on person.
Yeah, you feel me? Exactly. So I don't, and that's not that I have no gripes or, types of feelings about other things. It's just, I don't know. It's something to that older style of community and like really being face to face with people. You feel me? Like, I know my neighbor James, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know his whole name, you know what I'm saying? And he does this, he works here type, not on some like I'm policing him, but just on some like, yeah, I know the people that are around me and the people that are around me matter and the people that are around me have a mission and we all think alike, you know what I'm saying? Because like that's kind of like how the first communities got started. So like when I think about those older styles of living, it's super prevalent down south, and that's what makes me gravitate to it. Because up here it's like really quick. It's like everybody like money oriented, and that's not bad, but it's just like people don't really mess with the village for real.
Yeah, and that's why I try to get so hard to get y'all actually in the studio.
Facts.
Like, granted, I knew I couldn't get the whole band in here.
Facts.
But if I can get at least two of y'all in here to talk about the album and talk about the band and all the stuff, I'm like, this is more.
It's that energy.
Yeah.
Right.
You get to feel the vibe and everything. Man.
I appreciate that.
And I know I got two of y'all in here, but of course, we had to like flip back and forth. You gotta make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying?
Look, and that's the thing. You get it how you can until you can get some more.
Exactly. Exactly.
But facts, yeah, bro. I really do appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, no problem. I'm glad y'all able to come up here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it was oh my god, bro. Did Spence tell you about the stupid traffic on the way?
Oh, yeah.
Or, it's always something coming from Maryland, bro. It's literally always some type of, and that's every time, like sometimes we have like gigs or something. I always look and I'm like, yo, if I gotta put into the GPS no tolls, my whole like expectation of the day is already like, okay, you're gonna have to bring your expectations down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then if you see like toll, and then you see like zip codes that like are far, you like, oh, okay, now my expectations go down a little bit more. It's just like one thing after another. But VA is always a mission, bro. It's always a hike. I've never been able to get to VA in less than an hour. And I swear the GPS be like, you're only 30 minutes away.
What part of Maryland are you at?
I live in PG.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right. Like, you feel me?
Like,
so,
where at?
You like old Bowie. Like Bowie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, so I'm not.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be mad traffic coming that way. Yeah.
And it's like the Beltway is just never the place to be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
You are right.
you shouldn't be on the Beltway. Like,
You're right.
but I don't know. But, you know, we got here. Traveling mercies, everybody here.
Right. I hit traffic too, and I only stay like, what, 15 minutes away?
Bro, but see, but 15 minutes of VA traffic
Yeah.
is like 30 minutes of Maryland traffic.
Unless you're on 66. That's the whole nother level
Yeah.
of traffic, bro.
Yeah.
And like I work in Manassas now, so like driving,
Okay.
yeah, because like I just transferred to Manassas. I work with Amazon.
Okay,
so
cool,
like I
cool,
just
cool, cool.
just like a new warehouse
Yeah.
in Manassas now. They just
Okay.
opened up like a month ago. So like I work there from like 1 to noon, 1:30 to noon,
Facts.
like
Facts.
1 in the morning to noon. So
Facts.
like yeah. So like getting there is not really not that bad minus construction.
Right.
But coming back
right.
it's kind of
It's
like
yeah, that's when
Yeah.
you're busy at. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they do they start y'all off early in the morning, or you start like kind of like midday?
No, I get there at 1:30 in the morning. Yeah. And then yeah, we start right away.
Yeah.
10-hour shift.
I was one of the Amazoners for a little bit too, bro. So trust me, I know the hurt. I know the hurt. I actually worked up for a little bit. I worked up at the one up in Rockville.
Actually, I did my training in Rockville because
For
I'm
real?
a level 3 now. So I
Okay.
did my training up in Rockville. So making that drive and then coming back down, bruh.
I'm telling you, fool, what? Oh my God, driving.
Yeah, man.
Driving. And then so before I switched employment, the company that I was contracted with, we actually got called to do routes out Gainesville from Rockville.
I worked at Gainesville too, bro.
Oh my
I was working there for like
God.
2 months before Manassas opened up.
Bruh, driving. People don't know. It's a lot of driving.
It is. It
It's
really
like
is.
a lot of driving.
So you did like flex? Or you were like
Nah, I
had
was
the
in one of
actual-
them big Bertha vans.
Okay. Oh, you had the actual shuttle van joint.
bro.
Okay.
We was whipping.
Dang.
We was out this joke trying not to, kill ourselves. Bro.
Yeah.
And people be stingy on the road. People really be stingy with like service vehicles. They don't let you merge. They don't let you do nothing. They
Especially in Virginia.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Bruh. I'd be like, yo, this is why people have like incredible road rage.
Yeah, bro.
And then you feel me like, it's the Amazon, man. Like, I'm the closest thing to Santa. Like, let me over. Like, it's not that. Come on, son. I don't know. People just evil. People
Yeah, you're
just
right.
evil. They selfish. I hate it.
It's like a whole curse, man.
It is. I see what you did. I see what you did there.
Oh, you caught it. Okay.
I see
Okay.
what you did.
Speaking of curses, new album in stores today, all streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff, Amazon
everywhere.
Music. Curse has been lifted. So talk about, the making of the album, because this is your second album, your second project that y'all made, right?
Yeah, facts. Yeah. This project, I can say, honestly, was really heartfelt because there's just a lot of interpersonal and I guess you can say emotional venting that came with this project.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, because sometimes people just make music to make music.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes it's like inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this was a really authentic kind of project. And I think that's why it really took so long for us to really get it consolidated into a work of art, because we weren't forcing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like really like instances, and, you know, me and Greg might have a few sketches, and then, you know, we kind of piece things together. And then, you know, as life moves on, you know, people, you know, Jay literally just pours her heart out, you know, on the track. Me, I'm always just trying to make my music make me trip out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I produce with a compositional mind towards, you know, really trying to articulate like programmatic music, like making the music put you in a place.
Yeah.
You know, or just hearing the sounds makes you kind of like conceptualize like imagery or colors, or, you know, some people have synesthesia. So, you know, they see colors, or they feel colors, or they smell colors, or they taste colors, you know, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like playing on frequencies and vibrations, you know, kind of like spin that out. So there was just a lot of different culminations of like experiences and, you know, heartache, success, you know, failures. There's just a lot of stuff with the band, each individual member's personal life, that really did kind of like pour out into this track. So it's honestly some of the most authentic work that I've been part of.
Okay.
I'm just honored that it's finally coming out. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it lifts somebody else's curse, you know, because that's kind of like what it was for us. It was really just the process of existing, you know, the starting here, the seeing, the perspective, and then the ending here, or the walking towards there, you know, not necessarily ending, because
Right.
it never really ends, but, you know, it's all really just us bleeding, you know what I'm saying? What happens, you know?
Okay. So, what would you say is some of your favorite songs from the album, if you had to pick like a top 3?
I don't even know, bro. I really can't call it, because there's certain elements of each song, and just the story behind what we've gone through. I don't know, bro. I can't call it. I can tell you this though. I can tell you this. I can't tell you what my favorite song is.
Yeah.
But I can tell you what song, as soon as it starts playing, I literally have like a whole mental trip, and it's every time.
Yeah.
It's literally it's like, you can play the song 10 times, it's going to put me in a space 10 times, I'm going to trip out 10 times. 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Gone.
Gone?
Gone.
Okay.
Whenever that starts playing, it's, I don't know, the way my brain is set up, my anatomy, whatever is happening. Maybe it's the key. Maybe it's, I have no idea what it is. But as soon as that joint starts playing, I'm not even in the room. I'm having an outer body experience.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't explain it.
It just hits you in some type of way.
Yeah. Some certain frequencies do. Like,
Yeah.
So it's not a one-off, like that's the only song that does that, but it's one of the songs that is in my little personal library
Yeah.
of music that's like, okay, if you need to, you know, have a spiritual journey and you praying and you trying to figure something out, listen to this. You know what I'm saying? It's officially in the category. It's on that playlist. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's the one that I
kind of resonate with the most.
My body resonates with it. Yeah.
Okay. I feel you.
It literally pulls me. Like, wow. I don't know. I wish I had an answer.
No, I feel you. It's all good. That's what music's about, man. It's just, you know, it's all about feelings.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. And I mean, hopefully we conveyed that, because a lot of the tracks are about feelings, like just the areas you get, like feedback or don't do this to me. They have like a lot of emotion. Like, it's not even words, you know,
Yeah.
wrapped up in it. It's just the feeling. Like, I can't articulate through any type of, you know, language or diction, but like you hear it, and it's just like two people look at each other and nod. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you feel me?
Yeah. I mean, because like Craig had sent me one of the songs like earlier, you know, before the joint came out.
Yeah.
He sent me the Nigga You Ain't Special song.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
obviously, you know, a Jay song.
Yeah, right,
But
right.
you could tell, you know, it was something emotional, something she was speaking from like
Right.
experience type
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
Right. And that the culmination of literally emotion, feeling, experience, and perspective being transmutated through like frequencies, I feel like there's a lot that can't get lost in translation with music. You know, sometimes it's easy for me to, you know, say something and you miss my sarcasm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I say something, or I just don't know how you joke. I don't know how you play. You know what I'm saying? We don't have enough chemistry to understand each other. But I feel like there's a lot of these songs, it's just like, it's going to hit you. You know what I mean? And like, some people it might miss, but it's funny. We talking about Nigga You Ain't Special. I learned this, I guess you could say, gem from Jay. She was just like, one day, I forget what we was talking about. You know, probably how to save the world or something. You know, like, always trying to be, you know. She's a dear friend, and I love chatting up with her. She gets more like, or less mysterious. She's definitely a person to have conversations with because she is a complete reservoir of knowledge. So I say that to say, like, pay attention to her because she don't be just rapping. She be preaching on the low.
Okay.
But that said, I forget what we were talking about or how we were talking about what we were talking about. But she just said, sometimes you got to say something and whoever it's meant for, they'll get it. A lot of times we get wrapped up in trying to communicate effectively.
Yeah.
And then we don't. We end up not saying clearly what we was going to say. And like she kind of broke it down like, you know, real simply, like Chinese person is speaking, you know, Chinese and you don't know Chinese, then it wasn't for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're speaking to somebody personally and they don't care about who misses it because they said what they said for who they said it for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I've really taken that approach and ran with it musically because it's like a lot of times as artists, we get caught up in trying to be understood, you know? We get caught up in trying to make sure that nothing gets lost in translation or, you know, through your practice, you know, you're trying to make sure you're the sharpest tool and, you know, you do all these things that can easily obscure the message or obscure, you know, your intentions.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, it ain't even that deep. You know what I mean? You just got to say it. And I feel like with The Curse Is Lifted, I feel like we really found a good starting point for that happy medium of like putting it out there, you know?
Yeah.
And not even like worrying about how it's understood or the view or perspective. Like, no, it's for whoever gets it
Right.
type energy. And not on some like, oh, if you don't get it, you're stupid. Like, no, it's just like we were speaking to somebody and if this is for you, you know what I'm saying?
Then you're gonna hear it.
Then you're going to hear it. And at least my hope is the people that hear it get some healing from it. I'm trying to help, which whatever way I can. And I mean, you feel like if you ain't leading the revolution, you know what I'm saying, then you got to do something, you know. And I feel like music is a safe medium.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
If you could just get that one person to hear it,
Right.
to listen, you know what I'm saying?
Right, just to listen, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And if it changes your mind or it lines you up some way or it gives you perspective of something that you know, weren't aware of, then, you know, praise God. Like we all here, we all looking at the same thing a little more clearer now, or we looking at the same thing with more empathy. Because I feel like a lot of times we don't see what each other sees.
Yeah.
And on some, not to be like spiritual, but on some spiritual stuff, I feel like that's a really big divide or barrier between people, you know, at different people of different ethnicities, different minds, you know what I'm saying? Like there's not enough empathetic perspective.
Mm.
And sometimes I feel like when we as artists, we're trying to say something clearly, things can get lost in translation if they don't get packaged a certain way, or if they don't look a certain way, if you don't rap about a certain thing, or you don't, you know, make music. Oh, you call yourself a jazz musician, but you know what I'm saying, you do these things and this doesn't look like jazz, or you call yourself a rapper and you do these things, but it doesn't look like rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody's like caught up in the image instead of the like
the creativity.
the creativity, but also the empathetic,
Yeah.
you know, kind of like perspective that comes with that creativity to see, okay, when this person is talking, like they're talking about their experience, you know, like what they see, what they're feeling, you know. And sometimes if you talk about something that everybody's felt, yeah, it's easy to get behind that. You know, you talk about getting money and what it feels like to be at the bottom and now you're at the top. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh yeah. But you start talking about like real, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird because not everybody has had the same amount of experiences. So it can be, I don't know, what's the word? It could be a little bit daunting to even talk about certain subjects as an artist because you're like, well, what's going to get airtime? You know what I mean?
Right.
I say all that to say like that empathetic mind first, I think helps us as artists start to kind of forget about how we want to say something and just kind of like say it clearly, you know, and kind of like what Jay was saying, like you just, you know, you say it.
Yeah.
Whoever it's for is for. Hopefully it helps other people copy and paste some more empathy in their life. You know what I mean? So that in day-to-day transactions, you feel me, you can start to see other people's perspective, and you can, you know, just start to move in a way that don't, you know, fuck up somebody else's life. You know what I'm saying? Not on some like, oh, you gotta bend over backwards for people, but you know, we all don't have to be in the way, or we all don't have to move in a way that makes us feel like if this person is doing better, they're in my way.
Yeah.
You know, there's enough to go around.
Big facts.
Long story short. And I feel like when we start to, you know, just focus on certain messages in music, it can kind of copy and paste that consciousness around, and then slowly, hopefully, everybody will just chill the fuck out, you know? Grab a J, smoke it, and mind your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I'm trying to cause change without violence. You feel
Facts. That was deep, man. For real. For real.
My bad. I ain't trying to ramble.
No. You good, bro. No, this was good. This was good. For real. And it was perfect because it's about time to wrap the joint up anyway.
Say that.
You know what I'm saying? So you ended right on time anyway, so it was all good. So for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Say Lief. Chris has been lifted on all streaming platforms. We released today. Make sure y'all go cop that joint.
Go cop that.
I've been pre-ordering my joint, so I'm good regardless. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, make sure y'all go cop that joint. It's fire. The songs I've heard, it's fire already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm completely biased, but also I'm not a liar. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you want some crack, go get it.
But yeah, man, go make sure you all check this joint out. I'm your host, AJ, and this is Hip Hop Vibes.